In my latest video, I've got 3 exciting stories to share with you. Let's kick things off with a big one from the Crypto Basic. CME Group has announced a CFTC regulated XRP product. Mark your calendars. It's amazing to see traditional finance finally embracing XRP here in the US, the largest capital market on the planet. It feels like a turning point, especially now that XRP is no longer being held back by government suppression. Next up, media mogul Dave Portnoy is making waves. He revealed why he's investing in XRP and even asked what if XRP is the next Bitcoin. That's a big what if, and there's plenty to unpack there, but it's great to see someone as influential as Portnoy, millions of followers, a household name, joining the XRP army. Welcome aboard, Dave. Glad to have you fighting the good fight with us. Big news dropped yesterday, and I've been itching to dive into it. Let's start with Cointelegraph reporting. Coinbase is staring down a $400 million bill after a phishing attack, and attorney John Deaton has weighed in on this. Interestingly, Deaton himself has been targeted by a malicious actor trying to steal his identity in crypto. Wild, right? But before we break this all down, let me be clear. I'm not a financial expert. This is not financial advice, and you absolutely shouldn't make any financial decisions based on what I say here. If I'm just a crypto enthusiast who loves talking about this stuff on YouTube, it's a hobby purely for fun. That said, get ready to mark your calendars because this is huge. CME Group, the leading derivatives marketplace, has announced the imminent launch of CFTC-regulated XRP futures. The crypto world is buzzing, so let's dive into the detail. Yesterday, the derivatives trading platform took to X to spark excitement, teasing the upcoming launch of its highly anticipated XRP futures product. With a shout out to its 677,500 followers, the platform urged everyone to mark May 19th on their calendars, just 3 days away. CME Group confirmed in the post that XRP futures will officially be available for trading, setting the stage for an exciting new chapter in the crypto world. If this sounds familiar, it's because CME Group first hinted at plans to launch futures tied to XRP and Solana back in January. At the time, the announcement mysteriously disappeared from their website. Maybe it was a little too soon for the reveal, but as it turns out, the idea was very real. And now, after months of waiting, the countdown is on. 3 days, just 3 days to go. Of course, this launch might have happened sooner if not for a certain 3-letter agency. Looking at you, SEC. Bitcoin paved the way for futures trading back in late 2017, either in late November or early December, pulling from memory here, but you get the idea. I remember when Bitcoin first hit the $10,000 mark, it felt like a major milestone. Then over the next few weeks, it skyrocketed to nearly $20,000 since marking the peak of that cycle. Now, here we are, years later, and XRP is finally catching up. It's about 7.5 years behind Bitcoin in gaining these traditional financial investment vehicles, things Bitcoin has had for a while now. But hey, that's just the natural progression. If a coin is going to be widely adopted, the infrastructure around it will eventually fall into place. And now here we are, finally. Of course, let's not forget the delays caused by government red tape. But the big one we're still waiting on, a spot XRP ETF. It's coming without a doubt. It's just a matter of time. In fact, this whole process is quite revealing. Firms have already filed for spot ETFs on a handful of other coins like Solana and even HBAR. Forget Bitcoin for a moment. When it comes to altcoins, XRP takes the crown. It has nearly double the applications of its nearest competitor, which might be Solana, but don't quote me on that. What's really astonishing is the sheer number of firms pushing for a spot XRP ETF, almost twice as many as any other coin. Why? Because XRP has been held back for years. And in a fair market with no artificial suppression, XRP thrives. Why? Because it just works. Plain and simple, XRP is the ultimate crypto for payments. It does what Bitcoin can't, at least from a technical standpoint. Sure, Bitcoin has its place as the peer-to-peer cash system Satoshi Nakamoto envisioned, but XRP delivers on that promise in ways Bitcoin never could. That usability alone brings in investors, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. Let's not forget, XRP has consistently been in the top 10 cryptocurrencies by market cap since its inception, a feat only 2 other coins have achieved. There's a reason for that. XRP isn't just surviving, it's winning every single day. Bitcoin, ETH, and XRP, these 3 have held their ground in the top 10 coins by market cap since their inception. That's no coincidence, right? The market is sending a clear message. Even under fire from the SEC, XRP never dropped out of the top 10. Think about it. The collective wisdom of global speculators is still saying XRP makes sense. We're just scratching the surface here, but big moves are coming. Don't be shocked if XRP snags that number 2 market cap spot this cycle. I certainly won't be. And you know who else won't be? Dave Portnoy. The man's worth over $100 million. And he's been very open about that. Check this out. The well-known media personality, founder of DDTG Global and Barstool Sports, has made it public. He's bullish on XRP. So according to him, his interest in XRP is mostly driven by FOMO. And honestly, I love that answer. He calls it the good kind of FOMO. And I can't help but agree. It cracks me up every time. This guy is pure entertainment. If you don't know who I'm talking about, do yourself a favor, Google his name, or better yet, hop on YouTube. You'll find a treasure trove of videos, everything from pizza reviews to random quirky stuff. His personality is larger than life, and he's just so much fun to watch. That said, when it comes to crypto investing, I mean no disrespect, but he's struck me in the past as the quintessential retail investor. You know the type. Jumping in at the peak, learning the hard way. During the last cycle, he finally bought into Bitcoin at a high price only to watch it crash. Panic set in, and he sold at a loss, completely fed up with the whole thing. "I'm done," he said. It was a classic case. Maybe he's learned since then. Who knows? But he was like, check out this Bitcoin thing, yada, yada. Next thing you know, it skyrocketed. I can't remember what the price was when he bought in. Maybe under $10,000. Who knows? But it shot up to around $70,000, 0 cents that cycle. I think you might finally learn the golden rule. Once you buy in, you have to weather the storm, ride out the volatility, and just hold on. That said, digging into the fundamentals isn't really his style. From what I've seen, he's more of a notice the buzz and throw money in kind of guy. Take XRP, for instance. Honestly, I don't think his decision with XRP was unwise this time around, but here's the deal. When you hit the euphoric stage of alt season, which we're not in yet, that's where things get dicey. That's when FOMO becomes dangerous. The bad kind of FOMO. If he jumped on XRP because he finally noticed the price moving, and let's be real, it's exactly what happened, then he's in good company. Good news, we're not done with this cycle yet. But here's the thing, understanding fundamentals is everything. Get them down and you'll be ahead of the pack. That's exactly why I've been holding onto XRP for 7.5 years without selling a single one. Strong fundamentals don't lie, and I believe they eventually win out. We're watching that play out right now. Oh, and speaking of big moves, Portnoy recently dropped some interesting insights at the 2025 CoinDesk Consensus Conference. He talked about the fascinating crossover between crypto and sports betting, pointing out how both attract risk takers chasing fast wins. And honestly, he's right. So many people in crypto are after the quick score, but that's the wrong game plan. The real play, a long-term mindset. That's how you win. That's the mindset I stick to. I never know when something's going to take off, but I believe it eventually will. So I stay in the game, ready for whenever that moment comes, even if it takes longer than I'd like. Timing isn't in my hands, but it's absolutely right. It's a strategy for the risk tolerant, not for everyone. A lot of people are chasing quick wins. Not me. I'm fine waiting it out. Here's a thought to chew on. There's something satisfying about placing a bet, watching Bitcoin or XRP climb and just sitting back on the couch thinking, I made that money by doing nothing. That's a killer feeling. And it's true. Getting paid to wait requires patience, but for some, staying put is the hardest part. Many can't resist trying to time the market, jumping in and out of positions, thinking they're outsmarting it. People fall into that trap. It's dipping, so I'll sell now and buy back even lower to get more. Sure, sounds great, right? Until it doesn't. Miss one move and you can wreck your entire portfolio. So yeah, good luck with that. Me, I'm not playing that game. By the way, Portnoy himself admitted that holding XRP has more to do with FOMO than faith in its fundamentals. A relatable move for many, no doubt. Yeah, I don't think he really gets the fundamentals. He's just watching the price climb. His exact words were, I don't know if there's as much FOMO in Bitcoin now that it's so established, but that's why I'm into XRP. It's the FOMO. It's just $2.40. What if that's the next Bitcoin? And honestly, right before that, because I caught the video clip, he said Bitcoin was rising purely because of FOMO. There's some truth to that, sure. And yeah, FOMO plays a role with XRP too. But as for XRP being the next Bitcoin, let's just say I really, really hope not. From a fundamental standpoint, I really hope XRP doesn't turn into the next Bitcoin. Why? Because that would mean it's slow, expensive to transact with, and loses almost all of its utility. At that point, it's just a crypto pet rock like Bitcoin. That's what Bitcoin is. So no, I don't want XRP to follow in those footsteps. Now, I get it. That's not what he meant. He's clearly talking about price action. And if that's the case, well, maybe it could be the next Bitcoin in that sense. Let me show you something fun. There's this website I love where you can input any crypto and see what its price would be if it had the market cap of another coin. Let's look at XRP compared to Bitcoin. Bitcoin, by the way, currently boasts a market cap of over $2 trillion. So what if XRP reached that level? The price of XRP would skyrocket to $35.26. Crazy, right? If we're defining the next Bitcoin purely in terms of price performance, then yeah, sure, it could happen. Some analysts believe this could be the market cycle where things really take off. And honestly, that's not so far-fetched. $35.26. Let that sink in. If that happens, Bitcoin's value is going to skyrocket beyond imagination. Now, even if XRP reaches those levels, the cycle or doesn't, I'm not here to predict the future. But one thing's for sure, it's not a crazy idea. In fact, I've been saying for a while now that we'll see multiple coins hitting multi-trillion-dollar market caps. And XRP, I'm betting it'll get there one day. With adoption climbing and utility expanding, why wouldn't it? It just makes sense. And speaking of wild cards, Dave Portnoy might not be a fundamentals guy, but at least he FOMO'd into something with actual utility. He could have gone for some useless meme coin, right? But no, he chose something functional, something real. Oh, and CoinDesk, they even shared a clip of this. That's Dave Portnoy right there, asking the big question. Why does Dave Portnoy own XRP? With 3.7 million followers, it's refreshing to see someone with that kind of reach openly discussing XRP on social media. So, what's his take? Why is he holding XRP? According to CoinDesk, his answer was simple: FOMO. His exact words: it's not like I have some grand belief in it. It's what, $2, 40 cents? What if it's the next Bitcoin? And you know what? Fair enough. If he's dabbling in XRP just for the potential upside and doesn't dive deep into it, that's fine. Not everyone has to be an expert. Personally, I've spent 7.5 years researching XRP, so my belief runs much deeper, but hey, everyone starts somewhere. So I responded to CoinDesk because, surprise, they conveniently left out a critical piece. He literally said, FOMO has been driving Bitcoin purchases for years, but nope, they skipped that part. And yeah, I left it out deliberately when I called them out. CoinDesk loves to take cheap shots at XRP more than any other crypto outlet out there. It's ridiculous, pure trash journalism. I had to say something, but let's be real, they're not going to change. Oh, it's not like FOMO is unique to XRP or Bitcoin. Any hot coin with a big green candle triggers it. It's just how the market works. It's not all bad, but when you frame it like they do, it sure sounds bad. And to top it off, they ignored him saying FOMO is exactly why Bitcoin is worth what it is today. All right, let's dive into the third story. Coinbase is staring at a $400 million tab thanks to an insider phishing attack. Quick question, how many of you have been bombarded with sketchy texts or emails pretending to be from Coinbase? You know the ones. There's a withdrawal from your account or security alert. Spoiler alert, they're fake. Let me be clear. If you ever get those messages and think they're legit, don't click anything. Go directly to Coinbase's official website and check for yourself. But let's be honest, those phishing attempts are everywhere. I get those annoying scams sent to me all the time too. And here's the kicker. The source of this headache? Information leaks, likely from Coinbase itself. According to the company, cybercriminals recruited overseas support agents to leak user data, leading to a $20 million extortion attempt. Coinbase, the third largest cryptocurrency exchange in the world, is now left cleaning up this mess. On May 15th, Coinbase revealed in a blog post that a group of malicious actors bribed and collaborated with customer support contractors to breach internal systems and access limited user data. While passwords, private keys, funds, and Coinbase Prime accounts were unaffected, the attackers exploited their access to steal information from a small number of accounts. Here's the catch. With this stolen data, scammers could still target users through social engineering. They might pose as Coinbase, tricking you into sharing sensitive information that could lead to theft. So while your funds are safe for now, staying alert and cautious is key to keeping scammers at bay. Less than 1% of Coinbase's monthly transacting users were impacted by the recent attack, according to the company. But seriously, just 1%. Let's be real. How many of you are getting bombarded by scammers pretending to be from Coinbase? Emails, texts, calls, you name it. Drop your experiences in the comments because it feels like scam central out there in the crypto world. If it's really only 1%, fine, I guess, but it's hard not to be skeptical. Now, here's where things get spicy. After stealing the data, The attackers demanded $20 million in Bitcoin from Coinbase to keep the breach under wraps. But Coinbase wasn't having it. Instead, they flipped the script completely, refusing to pay the ransom and offering a $20 million bounty to anyone who could help track down and convict the culprits. Talk about a power move. It's basically like the attackers said, pay us $20 million or we'll spill your secrets. And Coinbase hit them back with, actually, we'll pay $20 million to whoever takes you down. That's just chef's kiss level justice. Scammers often disguise themselves as trusted brands to lure in unsuspecting serfdoms. In 2024, Coinbase became the top target for cryptocurrency scammers, earning the dubious distinction of being the most impersonated crypto brand. But here's the twist. Coinbase is stepping up in a way few would expect. The company announced it will reimburse users who were tricked into sending cryptocurrency to phishing scammers, with projected remediation costs landing between $180 million and $400 million. So let's be real, this is no small gesture. While it's not Coinbase's fault these bad actors exist, taking the hit to protect their customers and their reputation is a bold move. It's costly, yes, but making victims whole again sends a powerful message. Frankly, not many exchanges would go this far, so credit where it's due. Whatever your opinion of Coinbase, this decision sets them apart. In an 8-K filing with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission on May 15th, Coinbase outlined these voluntary reimbursements and remediation efforts. Think about it, expecting any publicly traded company to hand over $20 million, 0 cents, to cover a scam's aftermath seems far-fetched, yet here we are. Say what you will, but Coinbase just raised the bar for customer care in the crypto world. Publicly traded company? Not quite. And of course, John Deaton had to step in with his 2 cents. He's no stranger to getting attacked himself. Deaton warned everyone with accounts on platforms like Coinbase, Kraken, Gemini, or Uphold to stay on high alert. Hackers are getting smarter, folks. Here's the trick. You might get an official looking email from Coinbase support or Uphold support. Spoiler alert, it's not them. Deaton admitted he's received these phishing emails too. They look legit, but don't fall for it. Never click the link and don't even think about entering your password. The hackers know how to mess with your head, creating fake urgency to make you panic. Act now or lose your assets. Don't take the bait. Stay sharp, stay safe. It's a wild ride out there, but I love the fight and determination to stay ahead of these scams. Keep your eyes open. I really hope they catch these scammers because I can't stand people like that. They contribute nothing, only take, steal, and leech off society. It's infuriating to see individuals who actively destroy and exploit others for personal gain. I just can't wrap my head around how anyone can live with that level of moral bankruptcy. It's a shame, really. While it's a small percentage of the population, their actions cause disproportionate harm. People like that have no place in a functioning society. Seriously, just get out. We don't need you, and we certainly don't want you. On a brighter note, I'm glad Coinbase is stepping up, doing the right thing, and ensuring their customers are made whole. That's above and beyond, and it's refreshing to see a company take accountability like that. Props to them. Anyway, that's my 2 cents. Oh, and just a reminder, I'm not a financial advisor. Don't make financial decisions based on what I say here. That would be a terrible, terrible idea.